Welcome to Tools of Fortune. Today, on Sunday afternoon, on 11/23/2005, I'm going to start out by asking Mother Mary the question of what should we be grateful for today? What should we be grateful for today? I hope that I can be heard from wherever things are. All right, we're just going to do a single card pull here on the tarot as far as what we should be grateful for. Make sure you like if you're new, come and like the video. If not, that's fine too. You don't have to like anything. I'm just going to take the top card here. What's saying is that we need to examine our relationships. Those relationships, and why is it that we feel unfulfilled and dissatisfied? And instead, to find reasons to be grateful for the relationships that we have. Welcome, Katniss. Welcome. Do you have any questions? I'm just going to be on for a short time today. I am recovering from, a 4-day migraine? Let's see, it was Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and yeah, almost 4 days of a migraine. But anyway, my opening of what should we be grateful for today, it's for our relationships, even the ones that we feel we're dissatisfied with, we are discontented, the ones where they have gone awry and we just don't know why. You go and examine our relationships that we have for other and try to be grateful for them. That's with this initial question. And if anybody else, if we have a question we want to begin with, or I will show you, I have some new decks. And I am going to cut the videos together for them. I have them in my video editor. I just haven't done them yet, but what we can do is I can go through. These are some oracle decks. I kind of like this one, and there was a reason why I like this one too. It was actually pretty cheap. It landed in my feed at like $8.88. Celestial Insights. This is 56 cards with keywords. And yeah, well, let's go take a quick look through them. It has some really nice, it's sort of strong colors, reds and purples, strong colors. And it has very interesting images here. I want to show you an image in particular because it was the one that kind of attracted me to this deck in the first place. Intense feelings. And maybe we'll just, if no one has any questions, we're just going to pull some cards based upon that question of gratitude and relationships and why our relationships we are dissatisfied in our relationships. Welcome, Chloe's Crystals. Welcome. I was thinking about you the other day. It has a yes card, but it doesn't have a no card. There's something in the art in this deck which I find really, really interesting. Let me just see if I can get to the card. So, I mean, for $8.88, this is a pretty good deal. It has the cards are really kind of thin. They're kind of bendy, and but you know, it had a past life, whether that's our past lives, the multiple lives that we have lived to date, because I'm almost 60 years old, and I could distinctly see 2 or 3 different lives that I've already lived, and how my life has changed through time. I mean, if I look at, let's say, when I was a child, and then becoming an adolescent, going through the change of life, and to becoming an adult, working through your 20s. I mean, in my 20s, of course, I was more similar to my teens in my 20s than I am now. That's just like a real distant memory. It's like a whole different life that I lived. Going through the 40s, between 35 and 40 something, my whole brain changed, and I became a brand new individual. Expanded out, my mind expanded again, an expansion experience. And so I could distinctly say that someplace between 35 and 40, I was born again in this life, that I had a born again experience, a rebirth experience. And that's kind of interesting. You could say that, or maybe past life is literally past life. Or, you know, if you were a person who got married and you had your prior pre-married life, the pre-life with children. I think it's this one here. I think this was the card of enlightenment, where I had some art that I did years ago. Well, this is like in 2020, 2021. The shape of this creature that I drew, and something within the art in this deck were very similar. It was something that it reminded me of something of that. Gratitude. Katniss, it was I think it probably had almond milk or coconut milk in it, but it didn't have dairy milk in it. Embrace. Yes, I have painted on cartons before. And so it has just go on like that. So let's just go shuffle this deck. And we talked about in the tarot, it was relationships. To be grateful for our relationships that we have with others. But why? But asking the question is, why? Why are some relationships unsatisfactory? SATACTORY. Why are... Welcome, Danny. Welcome. So why are some relationships unsatisfactory? And we're going to just explore that through this Celestial Insights Oracle deck. I need a cable that's not so rickety that when I move it, everything else moves. I could just move to a different microphone setup altogether, except that every time I hit the table, I get like hot mic noise, so I can't really do a clamp to the table kind of a microphone setup. I have another mic stand out in the barn. I might be able to use something like that. Let's just give it some good shuffle stuff. Why are some relationships unsatisfactory? Why are we unsatisfied? So how do you like the setup I have here where I put my tablet over there so that you can see my face at the same time as you see the cards and everything in the setup? So you like it, yeah. You know, I don't know why I didn't think about that before. I might actually go to Walmart when I go to the city tomorrow. Maybe go to a store or maybe Goodwill or someplace and actually just get a mirror rather than having the tablet, but a mirror of like a similar size. I do like the mystique of having a darker surface, but I'm not gonna. You know, I don't really feel all that comfortable going out and buying like a black mirror, or maybe I shouldn't be that way, but I do have so many of my so much of my Christianity that influences my spirituality today that I have trouble within my own self with like certain words and concepts. So let go of love. So letting go of past love opens the door to new possibilities. Are you holding on to old relationships? Release it and you'll find peace and potential for new love. You get it, yeah. Yeah, I know. I understand that. And it's just like but then, you know, I kind of went through a long period of de-spiritualized myself. Like after my father passed away in 2012, and then I went to work at a casino. And of course, you know, you go work in a casino or you work in the food and beverage industry, then I got out of the habit of going to church because like, sure, I could have gone on a weekday. I mean, my days off were like Monday, Tuesday. For several years, they were Wednesday, Thursday, and then they were Monday, Tuesday. And, but living in a remote area, it made it difficult to go, and you just get out of the habit. And then the job itself had so much of a focus on money, and walking into that experience of being more money focused, and it further distances you from your spirituality. Now, granted, throughout it all, I never really stopped praying the Hail Mary or the Our Father. But that was the way that was. And then, yeah, you know, but then, I don't know. I've always been kind of, yeah, that's how casinos are. Yeah, they are. And when you work in a casino, too, I worked in a casino for a long time. But no, so according to this first card is let go of love, but I don't know that really applies maybe I need to warm this deck up. Maybe, but we'll just try a different card. But that's kind of why are some relationships unsatisfactory? Because maybe they're unsatisfactory because there's no love in them. And the energy that you put into those relationships are ones that it goes unfulfilled. So you put that energy into that relationship and nothing comes back, and that's why it feels unsatisfactory, because you're not getting anything in return. Or if you look at, okay, how many relationships do you have on Facebook and Instagram and in places like that are satisfactory? I don't know. I mean, I have satisfactory relationships with people, but only because I know them. I have met them. I was friends with them in the real world, or I have active phone relationships with people from my past. But let's go see, why are some relationships why are some of our relationships unsatisfactory? Why? We're going to just be asking according to this. And then freedom. So my initial thoughts right here on this deck is that I need to go sleep on it for a little while before I use it. I think I need to it's too new, though it's got pretty colors on it and everything, and I kind of feel almost like right out of the box it is not necessarily tuned to me in a ways like, now this deck was actually tuned to me directly right out of the box, and there were no but this one there's a bit of a disconnect between me and this deck, but it is a pretty cards. So freedom is about following your inner voice. Have you been feeling trapped by your responsibilities? So maybe one of the reasons you are unsatisfied in those relationships is that there is no freedom there, that the structure of those relationships is such that maybe you are chained into these relationships in some form of a master slave relationship, where it's all about power and control, but there is no you being yourself. There's no that being with this person, having these friendships. It does not foster a relationship where you can live and let live and be free to be yourself. The card of letting go. Yeah, I guess that's right. It is very similar to that one. That is right, Danny and Katniss. Yeah. So let's try one more, and then we'll just kind of move on. If we have a question, I can go into the I'll just go into the tried and true decks of that I have been using. The opposite of control. Yeah. So we'll just go ask one more time about, why are some relationships unsatisfactory? Why are some relationships unsatisfactory? We'll do this bottom card here. Hey, look, it came up again. Oh, you have to go. Oh, well, I guess I should have started on time. But I needed to clean the dishes first before I could start. So look, this card came up twice, so I'm going to be guessing that the principal reason why some of our relationships are unsatisfactory is this issue of freedom, of not feeling free to be ourselves in them. And maybe, you extend that freedom to another individual, but all right, thank you, Danny. And I'm going to be coming back next Sunday to do live readings. I'm going to try to do them earlier in the day. I, wasn't feeling very well, and so next Sunday I'll try much earlier in the yeah yeah. So I will go next Sunday, and so I get out of church around noon, and then I make a special lunch slash breakfast, and then so I'm on the Pacific time, so maybe around like 2:30 ish instead of now is like 4:30, almost 5. So earlier in the day next Sunday, and I'll come on and do readings here. All right, so what it says here is it's about freedom. Freedom is the key issue. Freedom. Okay. And then, because both of the cards actually that came out were very similar. Now I have another deck. If you love someone, let them go. If they come back, it's meant to be. Yes, that is right. There is that. That is a quote, all right. So that's that one. Now there's another deck, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to read with it because I think that it's like a devotional deck. Because I have a devotional deck that when I started out, before I started getting prepared for here, um, it's a Mary Magdalene deck, but I'm using this as a devotion, and every week I pull a new card for me to think about. And so this is the dove, and the body never lies, and spirit speaks through body. And I heard this the other day too about that our emotions are really kind of a mirror, and when we pay attention to the emotions of the body, they are mirroring what it is that is an issue in a deeper sense. And I need to go back through that and look at it again. I need to go look at it again, but that's something to do. Oh, that's interesting. The string collapsed. It collapsed for a moment. Has it started back up again? Anyway, so we have another deck. Is this going? Okay, so this is Enchanted Path Oracle cards, and I think that it's going to be. It may turn into be kind of like a devotional deck, and I'm using those distinctly Christian terms, but it may not be what it is. But I hope it looks like the stream is still. Now, I mean, so we'll just kind of go through. It's not in any particular order. I like the art, and I want to see. I think I can divine with it. I'm not sure. It still has those thin cards, but let's just take a look at what it looks like. It has a lot of. I like the feel of it, and I think that as working with this one in conjunction with, let's say, the tarot, I think it will work just fine for you guys. What is it that you need? What I like about this deck is that it's very positive. And you know, it doesn't have it's not a shadow. It's a light. It's a positive experience. Forgiveness, you know, synchronicity. However, when we go into the word forgiveness, there could be a whole lot of pain and hurt that exists behind that. So I think that this deck will work for like general readings. What is it that you really need to work on? Empowerment, eternal love, joyful living, intention. And going forward in the future after the holidays, I'm going to try to come on twice a week for readings. Healing, serenity, clarity. I really like this card. I like that with that whole kind of a glass ball thing. Peace, success, focus, support, joy, faith, compassion, balance, harmony, connection, action, intuition. There's that word again, freedom, nature. I just really love the images in this. The sparsity of colors, of color choices that they use in their art makes me kind of wonder. And I like that. I really like this image here. Looking off into the distance, and there's different realities, different paths, different things here, there, all over the place, different detachment, energy, release, playfulness. The deck of silhouette, yeah. You like the dark silhouettes? Yeah, it's nice, actually. It's kind of like light is just over the horizon. The light is on the horizon, and it's either sunset or sunrise. It's possibilities. If it's light on the horizon, sunrise, that's like all those possibilities. Wisdom, affirmations, yes, the simplicity. Visualize, trust, passion, love yourself, generosity, gratitude, creativity, purpose, growth, the manifestation. You got the diversity, yeah. Mindfulness, transformation. It's pixelated. I don't understand. The internet's not doing very good today. Adventure, alignment, positive thoughts and health. So we're just going to see against that question of why are some relationships, why are relationships, so I guess now it's just like it were a podcast, right? Kind of a podcasting situation. So why are some relationships unsatisfactory? It's dark out already. I still need to go bring the wood in. Why? Why are some relationships unsatisfactory? Just like last week, it's just the internet field collapses. We've been getting dropped phone calls all day too. Well, when I did a speed test, even plugged in on the Ethernet, my download speed was 40 and my upload speed was like 6.5. It shouldn't be that low when you are using the Ethernet. I can see it being that low on Wi-Fi, but what perplexes me is that a year ago I had higher internet speeds outside the house than I do now inside the house. So my relationship to the internet provider is very unsatisfactory. So why are some of our relationships unsatisfactory? Oh, well, a couple cards popped out. So trust and balance. So maybe they're unsatisfactory because they're out of balance. There's a power differential and a feeling that there is no trust, that trust is lacking. That's interesting. Let's just leave those cards down there. What did I do with the box? Oh, here it is. We're going to ask Tarot. We're going to ask the Tarot, why are some of our relationships unsatisfactory? Well, it looks like two cards just flew out. Though these cards are thin, they feel sturdier than those cards. It's so dark outside. It's 5 o'clock and it's just pitch dark outside. All right, let's just see what it has to say about why some of our relationships are unsatisfactory. Because we are having unrealistic ideas. We're delusional. We expect too much. Maybe within ourselves, we lack social skills, or a perceived lack of skill in communication stands in our way. We approach the relationship with fantasy, or fantasy, or we put too much fantasy onto this person about who they should be. Then as we get to know them, that fantasy collapses, and then we're left with just maybe our own sense of lack of skill in maintaining those relationships. And then look, the balance. It says balance over here, but we have a power imbalance. A power imbalance in the relationship. Or there is a sense that why they're unsatisfactory is that, okay, there's too many fantasies, there's a lack of communication skill, that not trusting when you need to trust, not speaking when you really need to speak, not expressing yourself, making bad choices, not taking responsibility for your actions, blaming others, causing and creating a situation where a potentially good relationship turns into toxicity that we inject for our own lack of experience, our own lack of realism. We turn those relationships into something toxic. And then maybe in that, we may smother the person, be too clingy, cling to them, or they're clinging to us. This could go either way, a clinginess. And that's why our many relationships turn into unsatisfactory, because we are not really mindful of our actions, and we don't spend any time working on our communication skills. We just take it for granted that you just know how to do this, but you don't know how to do this unless you work at it. High expectations. And so what kind of is there any kind, let's see, within any congruity between these cards here, balance and trust? Well, 6 is a card about balance. Let's take a look at let's take a look at all the energy here, what the numerology energy is of the tarot, and then see if there's any correlations to things. And so we're looking at mostly all major cards. So these are like major problems, big problems. And so we're looking at 3 plus 6 plus 1 plus 7 is 8, plus 8 plus 11, 2, plus 2. And so we're looking at 10, 16, 19, and 1 plus 9 is 10. But what we're looking at the energy that sits in this is that of an incompleteness, because it's a down energy. It's you're not complete, and also you're not able to start fresh. So that's with that. Now, it's still pixelated. Maybe it'll work itself out. I apologize that my internet's not working too well. You know what? While I'm here, I'm just going to go to the Holy playing cards. I dropped that video a few days ago on my walkthrough of this deck, but also I went through a sample reading and how you can read these cards. And so we'll go through that. Maybe we'll just do a little air clearing here before we start a new deck, and let's just clear the air here out. Mother Mary, we have a question. It is a theoretical question, but it is a valid question. Why are some of our relationships unsatisfactory? Why are some of our relationships unsatisfactory? And so I'm going to mix the cards up. So if you're still there, Katniss, maybe we can just do this together, and you can tell me when to stop shuffling. Now, I haven't started shuffling yet. I'm just sort of mixing the up and down cards together. Let's just work on this together and see what we can come up with. So I'm going to shuffle, and Katniss, you tell me when to stop shuffle. I'm not doing a reading on you. I'm still just reading this question, but I'm asking you to tell me when to stop shuffling. Okay. So what we got is 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 4 cards. And so we have one of the cards. I like this one. They're unsatisfactory, and we have. So what we got here, let me just get another card out, which I can go and use here. We have essentially all court cards. St. John the Evangelist. Okay. So we got a king. King of spades, and spades are swords. We got the King of Swords energy. And that is, king is 12 is a 13. So it's a down energy on the 13. We have a Queen of Diamonds, and diamonds is earth energy, and so we're looking at pentacles. And Queen is 11, and no, it's 12, right? Yeah, 12. So 12, and this is a up energy. Then we have a Jack. Now the Jack can either be a knight or a page, and that's a pentacle. I'm going to call this one Jack Pentacles, and that's an 11, And that's also a down energy, but we're going to be calling this as like a knight. I kind of feel like it's that knight. It's got that knight energy in it versus like a page energy. And so in this sense, we're looking at the knight who's holding on to this pentacle and moving slowly forward. But in this sense, it's stuck in place. And then we have this other king, and it's a king of also of diamonds, and diamonds is pentacles. And the king is 13. 13, and that is a down energy as well. And so just from the numbers, and we stop just from the numbers alone, we're going to be looking at up energy and down energy. And our down energy is 13 plus 11 plus 13. So it's 26, 36, 37. And the down energy, what did I say? 10, 20, 30, 36, 37. 3 plus 7 is 10. So it's a down energy of 10, and it's an up energy of 3. So 3 is about creativity, about expressing yourself, and 1, that's about new beginnings, but because it's a down energy in the 1, it's about being stuck in place. Oh, it looks like everything cleared up now. That's good. So already what we can see is, why is this relationship unsatisfactory? Because we are stuck. We are stuck. It's being stuck. Stuck in stuck in incompletion. So like before, we had this number of 10. And so that is a repeat number, a down energy of 10. So it's a kind, between the tarot draw, we had a down energy of 10. But we have a down energy of 10 again. It's stuck incomplete. So we're in an incomplete place. And then we look at the 11 energy, or the 3 energy, which is up. And that's about creativity. But we're looking at, in this sense, I'm calling it a feminine energy. And so this is really of a masculine. And so if I look at this, the gender of this is, our incompleteness is, in this sense, is a masculine, M-A-S-C-L, masculine energy. Or you might look at it as the divine masculine, and then there's the divine feminine, or the feminine. And then we have a sense of creativity, and that is a feminine energy. Feminine energy. But what's interesting about this one here is this Our Lady of Chechnikova is there is a woundedness. There's these scratches on the face. She is wounded. There's a woundedness here. And I'm going to be in, if I were to look at this with a major arcana energy, we would, if I were to look at this here, and I would relate some major arcana cards to it, it is Wheel of Fortune, and the Empress. And the Empress. And so it's because it's pentacles, it's body. It's about the body. It's more about the body. And so you have this feminine abundance, the body. But the body is wounded. The expression in the world. And so you are expressing into the world your woundedness, displaying your woundedness. And within this picture there's a child. The child, your fertility. But this fertility, this child, is not an earthly child, but it is a spiritual child that you are bringing forth into the world through your woundedness. And this spiritual child, which imparts wisdom to you. So that's this one. Now, if we were to go in and look at what is a Queen of Pentacles, what does that mean? And a King of Pentacles, and a Knight of Pentacles. Pentacles, and a King of Swords, and that King of Swords, kind of an energy, Empress, Wheel of Fortune, so we have the cards, and how when you are reading playing cards, you can have a very more complex type of reading. And I'm still looking for a Queen of Pentacles and so I got Knight, King of Pentacles, Knight of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles, a King of Swords, someplace I'll find it. I can just go diving into a book, but we can. King of Swords. King of Swords, and then we have a Wheel of Fortune right there. Okay. All right, so what I'm looking at here is why these relationships are unsatisfactory. We can start over here with I started at the top with the King of Swords. And we're looking at coming in, these relationships are unsatisfactory because of just the underlying weakness of the relationship, or just a unpreparedness to be in a relationship, so that lack of skill. And then we have but this energy over here, in that sense of that motherly energy of being mothering, and so that feminine motherly energy being, and maybe we have the positives and the negatives, and so it goes from being unprepared, unskilled at being in a relationship, compounding that with that sort of a want to mother and to maybe dominate that other person. Domination, mothering, and then we go into a sense of where also that relationship, it just moves too slow. It moves too slow, or it's all about work. There's no play in it. There's a feeling that it's moving too slow, or you can't be free just to be yourself. And then you have a sense of where the focus is too focused on the material. And then that's one layer. So what did I say? So we're looking at from the numbers point of view, it's just stuck in place. There's creativity. The creativity to move forward is just stagnant. There's a stagnancy. Why this relationship feels unsatisfied? Because it is stagnant. And within that stagnant sea, there is being mentally not into it. Being taking a parental role in it. Rather than being equal partners, one person is assuming a parental role. And then you also have a sense of being stuck, or not having any fun because what somebody is being authoritarian in this relationship, and they're not. One person is being a parent. You're trying to be and so you get set up in this parent-child relationship rather than a relationship of equals. That lack of freedom to be yourself. And so in the roles get set up differently. And then we got over here is a sense of the materiality of it. Maybe one person where there's a power dynamic between the amount of physical resources that each party brings into the relationship. So that's from like the minor arcana energy that you can read into this, and that's on this card. Now if we go to the major arcana readings, what that energy which came is from a Wheel of Fortune in reverse and the Empress card. And so in that sense, we could be bad luck, a sense of bad luck, but if you're not really going that way, it's that wheel isn't moving. It isn't clicking forward into the next stage. And then there's that mother energy. Okay, then we look at those energies together, 13. And so overall, why is these relationships unsatisfactory. It's a total foundational issue. And so it's a foundational issue. So you've got the numbers of 10 plus 3 is 13, 1 plus 3 is 4. And so it's the number 4. And so it's a lack of foundation. And so to work on this relationship to make it more satisfactory, one needs to not assume a parental role and not to set that relationship up like there is a parent-child relationship. Not to have that parent-child relationship. But instead be able to freely express yourself in it and to work on your communication skills. Work on your preparedness to be more mentally prepared in that relationship. And then also, when we come over to here to make it more satisfactory, is that you have that kernel of love that is there and that you are able to move slowly forward to have the freedom to play. It's not just work, but you also have that freedom to play in it. And then over here, it is to have those hard conversations about the resources, about those things that you bring to the relationship. Putting all your cards out on the table and displaying them, and without judgment. Without judgment. And on the images on here, if we look at here, we got the Holy Eucharist. And that, in this sense, being in the upside down form, that's taking the body of that divinity into yourself and incorporating it into your life. That's one thing. Recognizing the woundedness, recognizing this divine spiritual child that is you, and allowing it to grow. St. John the Evangelist. Be a person who can speak your mind, speak your truth in that relationship. And Christ the Pantocrator, that's that word, that divine word, that divine knowing, being in touch with that divine word, divine knowing. Anyways, that's what I got. I don't know if that made any sense, but I was just kind of going through it as a sample reading here to a question on how you can read playing cards. And I'm still working on that too, because I'm not a master here as well. I'm just the learner. But I hope that you can see that in many respects that a deck of playing cards can be even more can give you more information in a reading than a deck of tarot cards can. Now, I've chosen in this to use the Rider-Waite system of interpretation for the cards. Now, you could choose the Tarot de Marseille as your interpreted pattern, but that's kind of anyways. This session didn't go. It went someplace. Part of it was pixelated, and I'm sorry. There's nothing that I could have done about that. I displayed some of these questions, and I think that the cards I pulled, I think for the most part, they were congruent together. I found it interesting how the tarot, it came up numerologically, it came up with the same numbers of 10 with the tarot card and 10 with the playing cards. We'll put these cards back in there. So I will be back next Sunday in the afternoon hours to do another reading session. Now, if perchance you wish to have a oh, you had to answer a phone call. I need to go start making dinner. But if anybody there has a question, I can do a video and just to address your question. Just post your question on the community tab, and there's in my community tab there is I have a spot there for questions, and you can ask your question, and within like 1 to 3 days I will get back to you with a video response. I'll post a link. So if you ask the question underneath the community tab, and I can show you what that is. I can show you what that post looks like. And so if we go to my page of Tools of Fortune, and this is the post I have. You can come down to the community posts, and I wonder if I can pin this to the top. Can I pin it to the top? No, it's this post here. And if you have any questions, you can tarot-related questions or whatnot, post your question as a comment down here, and I will get back to you within like 1 to 3 days with a video response of your question. And you can select decks that you want. I should probably put a list of all the decks that I have that you want to use. But mainly, when it comes to the tarot, I will be using. We could use What's the Vibe? What's Blocking You? I can do the Holy Playing Cards. I can do the Apprentice Tarot deck. I have another tarot deck too that I have put into play. That's right over here. We can do this tarot deck. I'm gonna list in that post all the tarot decks, and I might actually even. I'm not gonna put this deck into play quite yet, but if you want something more complicated, I can do the real life tarot deck. I can do that. That's actually, this is more like an oracle deck. And if you need some words, there's the crosswords one. I can use that one. And if you're looking for where are you at in the journey, we can use this deck. If you want some words of encouragement from Mother Mary, we can do this. And I haven't really opened this one up for a while, so I'm going to close this out, and I got to start making dinner. It's 6 o'clock, I guess, now. The dog is asking me, when is dinner? Had people knocking on the door about when is dinner. So what we're going to do in close out here, let's go clear the air. And we're just going to send a word out. Mother Mary, a word for us, for today, for this week? What word do we need to enrich our journey here today? And Katniss, why don't you tell me when we can stop? We can work together here as a team. When to stop. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed are you among women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us now and all throughout our journey. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou among women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us now and all throughout our journeys. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed are you among women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us now and all throughout our journey. Amen. So it is Our Lady who sends the angels with a pure heart free from any intention other than manifesting the Divine Mother's love. Call on the angels who love all beings unconditionally. Ask for help for yourself and for all you feel inspired to pray for, including those you know who are in need of assistance and perhaps lack the spiritual skillfulness to help themselves. Pray with relief in your heart that is born of total trust. And so this is the picture here. 7, 8, 9, 10. That's the image. It's really lovely. I like all those colors, the blues, the water blues, and the red. The doves and the tree together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 roses. And a big giant heart. How many blue dots are there? 1, 2, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 18, 19, 24, 2 plus 4 is 6. So it's all about love. All the numbers here are expressive of love on the heart. And that flaming heart passion of love for all. So in this week, the angels are with you. All you have to do is call upon them. That is that. And we take of our enchanted love, our enchanted path. One more card, just for something to think about. So if you have a question, please post it, and I will get back to you in 1 to 3 days. But now, let's see, one more word for the enchanted path. The dog. Yes. All about connection. But you know what I like about this card is it's really it's connecting with others, but it's also connecting with yourself. Because this is a mirror image of a person, and you have yourself and other aspects of yourself, and becoming a whole person, becoming connected through that divine feminine energy, through your woundedness, through your woundedness, through that spiritual being birthed within you, through that and gaining meaningful connections, building relationships that mean something with others, and at the very least, gaining a relationship with yourself, learning to know who you are so that you can be free to express you, yourself, into the world around you and not be chained into roles, into toxic roles that hold you back. All right. That's all I got for this week. I'm going to be back next Sunday. And if you have a question, please post the question in the community tab spot underneath that post that's at the top. And I will be back with you 1 to 3 days with a video response. Thank you. This is Tools of Fortune, and we'll see you the next time. Happy Thanksgiving if you celebrate Thanksgiving. And we go forward, especially into the new year. I'll be splitting time between this channel and the other channel. Probably 2 days a week on this channel and 3 days on the other. And I gotta go now. Bye-bye. 10 again, yeah? Lots of 10s here. All right. I gotta go before I get in trouble. Bye-bye. And thank you very much, Katniss, for hanging out with me today. You, Katniss, and for Danny. Thank you very much. And Chloe, too, who popped in for a minute.